Today on Carry Out Conversations, we celebrate a special day, the end of Season 2. Oh, and my birthday. So relax and enjoy as we reminisce the past year of our show, talk about birthdays, and our favorite types of cake, and most likely Star Wars. Let's get into this, guys. Today's episode is the final episode of Season 2, guys. This is, honestly, the season's gone by really fast.
Yeah, the last season was like, episode here and episode there. And this season we're just like, boom, 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 boom. Like, it's much more consistent.
Right.
In how we... And there's external factors that are at play with that. But honestly, overall, for the podcast, I think it's been good that we've been able to do it more often.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because, I mean, it seems like you said, it's something, we've been fairly consistent with it. There have been a couple of times where we've had to take a break, but it just seems like this year alone has just gone by so quick. Mm-hmm. And, Dave and I were talking out in the parking lot earlier, and a lot of things, both for the show and off the show, like personal stuff, has really kind of
a lot's gone on this year.
Yeah, this has been a weird year. Basically, it's 2020 part 2 for some of us. But it's so good, like
you think 2020 is over?
Well, like I said, part 2. This is just like...
Oh, we're still in part 1, my friend.
Yeah, well, so I kind of feel like, of course it's 2023. But I just got comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. And now it's going to be 2024.
Right.
And it's so like when I look at the number 2024, I feel like I'm 24. So I'm 22. But I was born in 2001. I always round down in my mind. So when I look at the year 2024, I'm like, I'm 24. I'm old.
Wait,
Dang
you round down?
I do, because I'm a bad person.
Yes, that is really weird.
Yeah, I just mentally, I'm like 2001 and 2000. Instead of rounding up 2002. Because I always hated kids. Like, have you ever met someone born in 2002? They're the worst people.
I'm going to be honest with you. I lose track of people. Like,
yeah, well, I don't know, like, your birth year, so it's fine. But,
yeah.
But, like, 1940, whatever. But,
no.
but, like, genuinely, like, there are just certain people born in certain years who suck than other people born in other years.
Yeah.
Like, people born in 1999, the worst human beings. Like, all of them suck.
Yeah, I mean...
With no exceptions.
Again, I can't think of anybody offhand. Like, it's like even family members and stuff. Like, I can't think of people offhand of when they were born. It's like, I know, like... Okay, I was born mid-'80s. My sister was born a couple years... 3 years... before I was. My brother's 10 years past me.
Yeah.
So it's like I remember those, but yeah, like people born in 2000, like I can't sit back and just think like, oh yeah, it was this person or whatever. It's like I remember my daughter's birthday, but that's about it. It's like everybody else. I'm just like, I have to guess.
I don't even know how old I am, so.
Yes, you do. Yeah. What do you mean, You got a birth certificate.
Okay, so there does come a time when you sit down and you start to think, like, what age am I really? Like,
What's my age again?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've been asked so many times, like, how old are you? And I'll be like, I'm 35. Wait. No, 36. No, crap. I don't know. And it's like I will literally blank on my own age sometimes because it's like you don't think about it. Because you never think about how old you really are.
I do.
I
maybe is that like a young person thing?
It would have to be.
Because
wait another 10 years, see how you feel.
Well, no, I feel like in 10 years I'm gonna be like. So I have this weird assumption that I'm gonna die young. Like I don't plan on. Like here's the thing: if God blesses me with an old life, that's awesome, and I'd love to see my grandchildren. But I just have this assumption that at like 33, I'm gonna get like my car's gonna get hit, and I'm just done.
Yeah, I mean,
like I just feel like I got a shorter timeline than other people. I don't know why. I'm not bothered by that idea at all. I just have that assumption, and my brothers have that assumption too. Like all the boys
About themselves or about you?
about themselves. So all the guys in my family are like, yeah, I'm gonna die in my 30s. Like that's just an assumption we have. And then my dad was like, yeah, I thought I was gonna die in my 30s, and he didn't. He's 60, but
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like a common thing or not. It's like I know that I have been that way where it's like you reach a certain age, you're like, man, how did I even last this long? But it's like when I was younger, I used to do so many stupid things. I mean, just like any boy, it's like you do stupid things, but I used to do some really stupid stuff, and I sitting back like thinking about it. Like I honestly wonder, it's like, how am I alive? Like, how am I still alive? How am I not brain dead because of how many times? I can't tell you how many times I have like smacked my head into concrete walls, on the sidewalk. I mean, those types of things have the stinking like goose egg, knots on your. Have you never heard that
goose egg?
Yeah, have you never heard that?
Like what? When you get
like a knot,
in what?
like on your head,
In your hair?
Oh my gosh!
In your hair?
No.
What do you mean? A knot in your head, like the skin?
Yes. Like, have you ever hit your head so hard that it swells up like a little knot?
That's not a knot. That's a bump. A knot is
No.
when something is like twisted.
No.
Yeah, that's to knot something means to like twist it. Yeah, a knot is like I've heard the term bump, but like a knot is something that's twisted. So when you said a knot in your head, I'm like, you hit your head and it twists the skin. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, maybe that's the whole age difference type thing, because
Knowing what knot is, never mind.
No, because that's what we used to call it. Like
A knot?
You used to hit, yeah, you used to get a knot on your head, because
you're
think
Southern.
about it like a knot of wood, like a knot in wood. How it's like that? It's almost like a bump. It's almost like a. All right, you know what? You're going to sit here and make fun of me.
About a knot in wood. Wood can't knot. It's so rigid.
Oh my goodness.
Because knotting. Okay, when I think of knots, I think of rope.
Okay, well, don't think of rope.
No.
What about speed? Like maritime speed, like the speed of boats going. They travel in knots, don't they?
Yeah, but isn't that spelled differently?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, but
what
like
that
how
means.
Okay, so you're talking.
I don't think it is spelled differently. I think
so
it's spelled the same.
the bump on the head. How are you spelling it?
Knot.
Okay, when I knot a rope, how am I spelling it? Same way.
Knot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
When you have a knot in wood,
the reason
the woodworkers, people who mess with wood, people who, you look at wood all the time. You
Okay.
know what a knot is in wood. It's when you have like a defection.
Well, when you knot, okay, so this is really interesting linguistically. So when you knot a rope, it's actually when you are knotting it, it's a verb, right? And then once you have made the knot is the bump that's left over.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll shut up now.
Yeah. Now that we just wasted like the whole 10 minutes proving that I'm right.
No. This is an important message. When it comes to words, think through the meaning and how they relate to other connected words and different usages of that terminology, so you don't become stupid like me.
And see that like I said,
Important PSA there, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but like that's genuine because we talk a lot on this show about like reading and education.
oh, we talk a lot on this show. We know that.
No, but like specifically about bettering your knowledge on things.
Yeah.
And so that's one. It's like, well, we just had this silly but surprisingly in-depth conversation about the use of one term. And it's like, yeah. That should happen more often.
Yes.
When people actually discuss how they're using terminology instead of just using it and assuming a dumb definition. So yeah,
Okay.
you win.
Well, now that we've gotten past that point,
Yeah.
do you at least understand what a goose egg is? What they reference of a goose egg?
That's when you knock your noggin and you get a bump on it.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
So back to what I was saying.
Okay, continue.
I can't tell you how many times that I have had, goose eggs on my head. And like, I kid you not. Okay. My school teacher even kind of laughed at me on this one because I was very clumsy growing up. And I remember we were outside playing and we were on the parking lot basically, and it was like a concrete parking lot, had the concrete sidewalk, and I fell, tripped over it, fell, bam, right on my forehead. Had a huge knot, goose egg, whatever you want to call it. So went in, teacher took me in. She's like, "Are you okay?" Blah blah blah. Put some ice on it for a few minutes, and kind of swelling went down. And she's like, "All right, go out, play. Please be careful." I'm like, "Okay." I go out there. I kid you not. The moment I exit the door, right on top of the concrete again, except for the other side of my forehead.
You had like horns?
I had like little horns
awesome.
on my head.
That is awesome.
And yeah, she told me that I wasn't allowed to go back outside for the rest of the week because of how clumsy I was.
Well, yeah, because you almost died twice?
Yes.
In one day.
In one day.
Yeah.
In the span of like 10 minutes.
Well, when you were talking about like getting into trouble as kids, I just imagined, because you lived in the South, I
Yes.
just imagined you throwing firecrackers at like alligators. I don't know why.
That was one thing okay.
Did you do that?
No, because where I grew up, where I grew up, alligators weren't there.
You gotta ship them in.
I do have an alligator story, but no, where I grew up, we were basically out in the middle of the woods. You had deer, you had coyotes, you had bobcats, you had rabbits, squirrels, snakes, those types of things. I will say the very first time that I got in trouble, and I think I said this on one of our shows before, the very first time that I ever got in trouble at school was for throwing rocks at our senior class. I was in kindergarten.
Chad, that's amazing.
Yes.
You're in kindergarten just hucking rocks?
Okay, story
Awesome.
time.
That's awesome.
Story time. We were outside, and this was before, or actually this was before the whole head injury thing that I had. Like I said, I was in kindergarten, and the way that we had it set up at our school was the building was like on top of this hill. There was a little field that we would play in, and it's like we had like part of our playground stuff there. And so all the kids would go down there, and the seniors, when on their breaks, they would all stand up on top of the hill. They weren't allowed to come down while the kids were playing. So it was a thing for the seniors to see how far they could throw the rocks past the property line of the school. Very small school, very small is a church school. So it's very small property. So they would throw rocks and try to make it past the property line. And so me and my cousin and one of my friends, her name was Sarah, we're like, we're playing around and stuff like that. And, we're like ducking and dodging the rocks like they're throwing them at us and stuff like that. Well, a couple of them decide that they're just going to start kind of lobbing them towards us, to kind of play around with us. And
Guys are jerks. Hey, bro, you want to go throw rocks at kindergartners?
That's basically how it was.
Does that?
So we're sitting there and, we're all dodging them and playing and stuff like that. And me and my cousin Daniel and Sarah, and one of them ends up hitting Sarah. And me and Daniel turn around and we're like, "You don't hit our friend." And all the rocks that they had thrown us, we just grabbed them and start chunking them back. And so, I mean, we got off a couple of pretty good shots with, on the seniors. And so principal comes out, he's yelling at the seniors, he's yelling at us. He's like, "You guys get in the office right now." So imagine little mini me and another little kid. I mean, like I said, we're 5 years old, sitting across an office with like 6 full-grown 18-year-old boys.
That's hilarious.
Just staring us down.
That's hilarious.
And we're sitting there, and we're scared to death because we've never been in trouble before. So we're like, or at least at school, we've never been in trouble. So our principal comes in, and he's like, "All right, I don't ever want to see you throw another rock again." And we're crying, we're bawling our eyes out. We're like, "Yes, sir." And so he's sends us out. I kid you not, we barely make it out the door. The door slams behind us, and you could hear him for about 15 minutes just yelling at the top of his lungs at every single one of these seniors on how, it's like, you guys should be responsible. You guys should know that these are little kids and blah, blah, blah.
Good. I'm so glad he did that.
Man, it was the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, that was the very first time I ever got in trouble for throwing rocks.
Dude, to be a fly on that wall
It was amazing.
would be awesome.
Like, honestly, it was amazing. So I'm not going to just talk about me getting in trouble all the time, because that will take a season and a half of episodes on its own.
Yeah.
But back to how we were talking at first, it's like this has been a very interesting year. And it is interesting enough on this episode, when it gets released, will actually be on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
No, thanks. And
you did it.
yeah, I made it another year, maybe. It hasn't been released yet as we're speaking. So
I mean, there's tornadoes.
very true.
There's very dangerous birds and very angry deer. So
And he might hit his head on something again.
oh yeah,
I very well
you
could
don't
hit
do
my
well
head
with
on
concrete.
something.
And there's
No.
so much concrete in the Midwest. There's so much concrete.
Yes. Yeah, I honestly, I should have been like a bubble boy just to protect myself.
Okay,
to be truth.
The fact that you've admitted that, every parent who actually wants to put their kid in a bubble is now like, this is my proof. This guy on the podcast said he should have been a bubble boy.
Yes.
So and then they told their kid, they're like, you need to be thankful that you're in this bubble.
I am the justification. So if you ever want to see what happens when a kid is left out of the bubble, just listen to this show. It'll tell you all you need to know.
No, so many kids are getting the bubble now. They're gonna be like, I don't want them to be like these guys.
Exactly. But no, now I'm trying to think, like, because what exactly have we all talked about on this show? Like, we've talked about so
See, I couldn't
much.
remember either. Like,
Yeah.
We have talked about everything from film and fantasy to politics and language and religion and philosophy and economics
And Star Wars.
and Star Wars and
Star Wars is its own category.
and Warhammer.
And Halo.
I'm trying so hard to get these guys into Warhammer. Pray for them so they will get into Warhammer.
Okay, I have to have something to watch, and I don't have
There
anything to
are
watch.
things to
I'm not going to
watch.
sit here and watch
YouTube
videos of people talking about
Yes, you are.
No.
It's good for you. It's okay. Warhammer is Christian propaganda.
it. Oh, jeez.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is. Okay, so
You can say the same thing about Star Wars.
no, dude. There's literally a dude. There's the Black Templars in Warhammer. Literally wear cross.
racist.
It's the color of their armor. And their skin. No,
jeez.
no, it's the color of their armor. And they literally have a black cross on their armor. All right, and then they go on crusade and kill demons, space demons. Okay, so
Space.
if that's not Christian propaganda, I don't know what is.
That's Doom. That's literally the definition of Doom.
No, because the Doom guy isn't wearing a cross, and he's not sent by the.
How do you know he's not?
He's not. Because his armor doesn't have a cross on it. I'm
He
saying
could
it's
have one-
No, I'm saying it's propaganda. It has to be explicitly that. So it has to be like like clearly so, right? To be like it can't be too obvious, but it's like it's definitely propaganda.
Warhammer just seems to be the knockoff of every other thing out there, and it's just kind of like people just threw it in together.
Warhammer was originally a fantasy series of its own.
So was Star Wars, so was Halo, so was...
No, but it wasn't sci-fi fantasy. It was just fantasy. And then they took it into the future, and then it's Warhammer 40K. So there's space orcs.
Space Orcs.
Yeah.
So it's Lord of the Rings in space.
No, the orcs are very different than the
Can
Lord
you
of the Rings.
imagine
orcs.
Lord of the Rings in space?
Okay.
I don't know because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We need to stop the show right now.
Okay, Lord of the Rings is the real Christian propaganda.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, you gotta watch
It actually kind of is. It's got a lot of... Okay, and it's funny because the church that I have been attending, they do a series every July.
on Lord of the Rings.
They do what's called Metro at the movies, and they take scenes from movies, and like the pastor will form a message around certain like movie scenes and stuff like that. This year they did one on Lord of the Rings, and it was really, really good. But it's kind of funny because I've heard a lot of people say that it's like, oh, there's so many like Christian undertones and Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, which, you know.
Yeah, so where people go wrong with it is, so Tolkien is like, I hate allegory, but what he didn't like was application of like typological themes. So in Tolkien's time, allegory was this character represents this other real thing exactly. Okay, so if you read Narnia, have you seen Narnia?
No.
Okay, so if you read do you know something about it?
I think I was read like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe like a long time ago as a kid.
Okay. Yeah.
So you at least know
The
what it's
lion,
about.
the lion is God or Jesus.
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The lion is clearly Jesus. Okay. He literally like calls himself God and then he dies and
He
then
doesn't call himself God.
bro.
He doesn't call himself God.
He's Lion Jesus. Okay. He literally shows
Lion
up.
Jesus.
He literally shows up. He says, "I am Lion Jesus." Then he dies. Then he comes back and is like, "I told you I was Lion Jesus." And then he kills a girl and that's it. And yeah. So
When did Jesus kill someone? Like,
It's a representation of the future.
of him,
Destroying
death
Satan.
and Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at what point does the Indian in the cupboard come in?
Also, I don't know if you know much about Trinitarian theology, but if you ever read the Old Testament, God kills a lot of people.
Yeah, but not Jesus.
Jesus is God. Again, this is why it's. So the term, I'll keep this very brief. The term God can be what we call a notional name to denote the Father. It can also be an essential predicate for all three persons.
Unless it's a bagel.
Yes.
I said I was going to keep it brief, and then you bring up literally the worst. Like, literally, I could not come up with a worse because that's a contingent. I'm done. I'm done. I'm so mad. I was having a good day. I was having a really good day, and then you brought that up.
Oh, bagel lord in the sky.
Dude, you can't pray to something that's, like, lesser than you. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, that's so dumb. That's like someone having a kid and then, like, making their kid their god.
But see, this is why we bring this stuff up is because
you're.
gets you
Are you
riled
saying
up to the
bagels are as
point-
precious as children?
No, they're far. No, I was
Bagels are better than children.
No, I was doing a reductio ad absurdum where you say something more absurd to show the absurdity of the previous premise.
But you know that we're just kidding.
Yeah,
right?
but it's still. But I know you're kidding. I know you guys are kidding. And Dave might not be kidding.
Yeah, I'd rather have a bagel than a kid.
Oh, dude, there's so much wrong with that. Like, and here's the thing: I'm not saying you have to want children. Everyone's different.
I want bagels.
Bagels are temporary, though.
So are kids.
Yeah, but they're so much less temporary.
See, okay,
Like-
so the thing about we're completely getting off topic of our
This
show,
is the
which
topic
I mean,
now.
yeah. So the thing about it,
About what?
where you know the difference between a bagel and a child. Yes. Is if you don't like the bagel, you can take it back and get you a different bagel.
You can do that with kids.
You can't do that with kids.
Yes, you can.
Okay, not legally.
We didn't say all that. You said you can do it. Like, and so, like, okay, think about it. The illegal market for children.
Oh goodness.
Which is horrible.
Yes.
And I hate. And we've talked about all the reasons we hate it.
Yes.
So don't take what I'm about to say as me making light of that. Donate to charity. Support children in need. But the market to purchase children is way bigger than the adoption market.
Yes.
Okay. So if we're trying to compare children to bagels, you don't compare. No, you don't adopt a bagel. You buy a bagel.
Right.
So if we're trying to compare children to bagels, okay, what's one of the things they have in common? Both are purchasable and returnable. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's how it is. Don't buy children.
Buy bagels.
Yeah,
not,
buy bagels, not children.
buy bagels, not babies.
Yeah, also don't worship.
New bumper sticker. Buy bagels, not babies.
Don't worship your food.
Yes.
If you can, dude, imagine worshiping a God you can destroy.
Okay, but essentially
That's
that was
dumb.
Instagram.
What do you mean?
When Instagram got started, that was the whole point. I mean, it wasn't the whole point, but it was what everybody did. Is they posted food on Instagram.
Yeah, but
Oh, please tell me you know this.
no, I know.
You've been around
I know it
that
was
long at least.
To know about Instagram.
Yes.
I know Instagram exists.
Yeah, and that was all people ever did was post their food on Instagram.
Yeah, no, but they don't.
For the likes. They did it to worship their food.
Yeah, but that's more of like an indirect way. Dave is like literally writing prayers, or as he's like, "Oh, you bagel lord." Like Miley Cyrus doesn't post a photo of a pizza slice and be like, "I praise you, pizza god."
How do you know?
Because I haven't seen it. I don't follow her, but
Yeah, I don't either.
But I think it's like a fair assumption because it's so out there. Like there are things that are so ridiculous. It's fair to assume, you know, but. But you can't dude. You can't worship a bagel.
The bagel lord is my everything, and thus he is an everything bagel.
That's literally You just use the word everything in two different senses that are contradictory. You said he is my everything, and then you said it's an everything bagel. So is your life like dependent upon like chia seeds and crap? No.
I literally just watched Noah's eyes glaze and twitch at the exact same time.
I'm tired, but I'm also angry. So it's kind of how it goes.
Well,
and I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the things that their brains are making them say.
But that's what makes this show fun sometimes.
My anger?
Yes.
Or the bagels?
I mean, come on. Okay. And we will get into this a little bit more, but
doubt it.
You've got to admit, no, not the bagel part, but you've got to admit that some of our greatest videos on TikTok are of you at least getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Or, being a little snippy butt.
Yeah, snippy butt.
Yes, you're a little snippy butt.
You're being a little snippet butt.
But speaking of food.
How is he going to wrap this into
Speaking of food, since this will be released on my birthday, and we are going to have birthday cake. I plan on having birthday cake on my birthday.
Can I have some?
I don't care. You're more than welcome to come by and grab some.
Dude, yeah, I'm down. Wait, what flavor of cake?
Well, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, dude, awesome.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our
If you
favorite.
say bagel flavor, I'm going to punch Dave in the nuts.
Everything bagel cake.
Everything. Oh, goodness. But in all reality, what is our favorite types?
Bagel flavored cake sounds so bad.
It does.
Like, okay.
It's just a giant
No,
pan bagel.
No. It's cake shaped. It's a square, but no hole. It's just
a
bagel material. No cream cheese.
Well, no, because you have to have the cream cheese frosting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, but no sugar. The frosting.
It's just all cream cheese.
Just regular cream cheese.
Well, whipped cream cheese, or it could be flavored cream cheese, like strawberry cream cheese,
but if it were, there'd be
The
think
blueberry
about
one's really good.
when you have a cake, like a regular cake with the frosting just on top. Think about the cake to frosting ratio, and now think about the bagel to frost. That's way more than
I was gonna say you're gonna need quite a bit of.
you're gonna need a lot. It's gonna be like half of it's gonna be the frosting, and half of it's cake. And at that point, you're just shoveling what do you put on a bagel?
Cream cheese?
Cream cheese. You're just shoveling cream cheese in your mouth. All right, sorry.
Goodness.
You were talking about cake.
Oh, so much fun on the show. I'm
Not
telling
that.
you.
Whatever favorite flavor, not that.
Not bagel
Yeah,
flavor.
not that. Okay, go.
All right. Yeah, but there are so many different types of cakes out there. And it's kind of crazy on how many different flavors can come out of basically nothing. I mean, you got to think, because it's like, what, a cake is flour, eggs, water, oil, and then whatever else you decide to put into it.
Love.
And no, not love.
Not love.
Not love.
Hate.
Spite.
Bagel.
Bagel. But you can add just about anything and everything and be able to come up with some of the craziest cakes that are out there.
I still question the existence of carrot cake. I don't understand why it
Bro,
exists.
go to a Golden Corral and your mind will be changed.
I don't know that I've
I don't
ever
like
actually
Golden
had carrot cake.
I don't like Golden Corral, but they have good carrot cake.
You know what's funny is I'm fairly sure the last season's last episode had to do with Golden Corral, and now we're bringing it up this episode
All right,
too.
so this is a somewhat food-themed podcast.
So
Yes.
we're celebrating Jonathan's birthday at Golden Corral.
Can we not? Can we
I'm
go,
okay with that.
Can we go somewhere else? I don't like it. I don't like Golden Corral. I go to Golden Corral and I'm like, oh, I'm excited for Golden Corral. I get some mac and cheese. And I look at the meat and it's either all gone or looks gross because it's been sitting out too long.
Their steaks are good. I like dealing with their steaks.
No.
Yes.
No. And then no, I go to Golden Corral. I end up eating like broccoli and mac and cheese and a bread roll, and then I leave mad.
Well, you're not doing it right.
No, I'm
right?
I'm trying to do it right. They won't freaking let me because there's always some fat guy named like whatever that's like eating all the good crap.
Fat guy named whatever.
I mean, I couldn't.
Who names their kid whatever?
Dude,
This is why bagels are better than kids.
look. Okay, I'm. What? Okay.
No one calls
Going-
it a whatever bagel.
No.
It's an everything bagel.
Or, okay, in anything bagel though, that's messed up.
What's the difference?
Exactly. That's exactly. So that's the scary part. Because if you ask for in anything bagel, it could be anything. It could be like wrench flavor.
Ranch flavor.
Did you say
No, I
ranch
said
flavored or
wren-
wrench
I said
flavored?
wrench.
Wrench flavor.
Wrench. Can I get an anything bagel? Yeah, it has a chair in it. Like, no. Okay. So you
If
were
you can
asking.
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That's an amazing movie.
It is a great movie.
We need to watch that together.
Yes.
No. So, cake, right?
Yes, cake.
So, red velvet cake is my second favorite.
Okay, well, I didn't ask what your second favorite
My
was.
first favorite is crap. Shoot, I gotta pick. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get maybe controversial take. I'm gonna say cheesecake.
I'll give you that.
Does that technically count as a cake? It's more of a custard.
Yeah, but
It depends on how you make it,
But
though.
it's a stiff like. Well, okay. What type? Yeah, like.
Weren't you the one who was just against shoveling cream cheese into your mouth? Now you're
No,
purporting
no,
for
no,
cheesecake.
no. Cheesecake.
So
is-
the bagel cake
cheesecake-
would have cheesecake frosting.
How dare you disrespect cheesecake frosting with your
Actually,
stupid...
that would be pretty good.
Stop.
There's a such thing as savory cheesecake, so it could be just like a giant bagel with savory cheesecake as the frosting.
Like, I
sorry,
can make
my-
a pretty decent cheesecake.
My audio just spiked like crazy. I didn't mean for it to be that loud.
I'm fairly sure our audio is just going nuts right now anyway.
Just like yelling bagel in people's ears. They're like, well, shut up. No, but okay, yeah. I think cheesecake is super underrated. It is my favorite, but cheesecake has to be done right. Cake is one of those things where, okay, I feel like a lot of dessert foods can be done like donuts. I think the donuts are pretty hard to mess up.
You've never had one from a 7-Eleven, have you?
I have. They are amazing.
Oh,
I've had great donuts. I've had like artisanal, like good donuts too.
Like, okay, have you had a fresh Krispy Kreme and then a
Yes.
Krispy Kreme that's been sitting on a store shelf for?
Yes, I'm very aware of the difference.
Yes.
Yes. I'm aware of the range, but I feel like cake has a larger range, a much larger range. It is so easy to mess up cake. One of the main reasons people mess up cake is they have crappy frosting. And I think the cake is the king of the show, not the frosting.
yeah.
Okay, so where people go wrong with cake is they focus too much on the frosting and they don't focus on the cake enough. And a cheesecake is all cake; it's no frosting. So if you want to do a cheesecake right, you got to focus on the
Or
cake.
is a cheesecake all frosting? Think about it.
No,
'Cause
Technically,
the
he's
whole
got a
thing is a
point.
custard in a crust.
it's
Because
not a
you
custard.
can take...
No,
you can-
it is literally a custard. Ask anybody who knows knows food
You know
science.
what? I'll ask my real god, and you'll ask your fake bagel god, and we'll see who can beat up who.
A cheesecake... See, I don't know. Because, I mean, okay, it's a cheesecake, but it's not technically a cake either. A
Next, you're gonna
cheesecake...
say mud pies aren't pies.
I wasn't gonna say anything
Yeah, but
about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being a jerk.
I don't know, because like a cheesecake can kind of go in between a couple of different ways. I mean, because to me, a cheesecake is almost like a pie.
Yeah, but pie is so much better than
Pie is
cake.
not better. No.
Pumpkin pie is better than most cake.
No.
Yeah.
It depends
Dude,
if how it's done.
I want to
I actually don't
Walmart
care
now.
for pumpkin pie that much anymore, probably because I got burned out on it when I was younger. Like, it was always pumpkin pie around Thanksgiving. Like, something else, anything else.
It's once a year. How can you get burned out on something once a year?
How often do you eat pies aside from holidays?
Never.
Or sad events.
Never.
Yeah, so if it's the only pie you eat every year, you're gonna get burned out.
Yeah.
But
pies, okay.
You can choose. No, you can choose. It's once a year. Do you know how hard it is to get burnt out on something you do once a year, unless it's a excruciatingly painful experience?
Some people.
That's like, oh, dude, I'm so burned out on like going to the dentist. It's
But
like,
the thing-
you never.
The thing about pies, though, is pies are comfort food. They're not.
Cakes are too.
No, cake is in any time. Like you can have cake any time of the year,
Any time of the
and
time.
be okay. Yes,
Dude,
and be okay with it. Because okay, think about it. Celebration. When there's a birthday, what do you have? You have a cake. When there's a wedding, you have a cake. When there's, you're congratulating somebody for graduating high school or college or getting a promotion, you have cake. When there's a death, you don't bring a cake to a funeral.
Bro, you
Well, maybe
don't.
you should.
Bro, you don't. I'm trying to liven up the party.
Yeah, that's
All right,
exactly.
you know what? If I die before you two, I want a cheesecake and a pumpkin pie brought to my funeral. And if anyone eats any other, oh wait, no, wait, I was trying to prove a point
Yeah,
about
you
not
kinda
bringing
just-
pie.
yeah, you just kinda,
sorry.
like, ruined
I
it.
want you to bring a cheap Meyer cake to my funeral, and I want everyone to get like tiny slices.
See, cheap Meyer cakes.
Yeah, well, I can't
Cheap
make it
cakes.
that happy. Can't make. Oh, dude, no, but Meyer, you can buy these like one slice cakes. Dude, they're so good. Like the little, like the big ones for birthday parties are trash, but the little one, dude. Oh, dude,
See, yeah, because
I'm gonna get cake after this.
Because back to what you had said earlier, it's like there are different ways to mess up cakes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get it just right, and that's the reason why I like cake a lot more than I like pies. Because with a pie, it's like, okay, you get the crust, you throw anything you want inside of it, you close it, and then you cook it, and that's it. With a cake, it is a science. Like, you have to get things just right. Because so I'm not a great baker. I can do a cheesecake really well. Like, I can make you a mean cheesecake.
Good to know.
I make another type of like actual cake. It's like a lemon blueberry.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's really good.
I
give
hate
that
sounds
thing-
like a
I hate
coffee
lemon.
cake.
I hate lemon. I'm sorry, I really do.
No, and I mean it's fine. Well, okay, well then you won't like my cheesecake.
Well, then
'cause-
you're being excommunicated from the Church of Free Bagels.
Oh no, I got kicked out of a church I'm not a part of and don't want to join. What are you, a Catholic?
So, but yeah, I can make the lemon blueberry cake. My issue that I always have is it's too dense. Like it's too like
add water.
It's too heavy. Water doesn't work.
I know, I was joking.
Baking soda?
See, I don't know. I mean, I've used regular flour. I've used like cake flour.
Milk. Add extra milk. That'll thin it out.
No, because
It's
it
not
doesn't have to do
necessarily
with the-
thinning that needs to
Yeah.
be done.
Yeah, it's something. It has something to do with the ingredients and the way that it's prepared. Like you have to get like
Undercook it a bit.
you have to get like the mixing just right. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get all of the ingredients put in just right. It's like I've watched like people do cakes, and I do it from scratch. Like that's the one that I do from scratch. Like I do a lot of my other cakes. Like I'll just do a box cake and then add stuff into it. Because I like to experiment with a lot of things. But it's like, yeah, when you get one that you're doing from scratch, like you have to be able to put the ingredients in at the right time and stuff like that, or it messes things up. And it's like, that's something that I've never been able to figure out just yet, is how to properly get it to where it's like a fluffy actual cake. I mean, it's one of those where it's almost like a brick at times. And so it's like I have an issue, I have that little bit of an issue. It's like as far as being able to make them, but it's still, the flavor's incredible. I mean, I'll tell you that for sure.
I'd probably still eat it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'll make it for you guys one time and let you guys figure it out.
I'll try it.
You'll like it.
I'll try it.
It has like the lemon flavor, but it's like when you mix it in with the blueberries, because I do like actual blueberries. I don't do like blueberry flavoring or whatever. Like I throw actual blueberries into this thing.
Artificial blueberry flavoring is so good.
It is good, but I'd rather have the
Switch to
original.
frozen.
I've done that too.
Okay.
Or yeah, I've done that too. Where I've put
Those are
frozen
still
ones
real
in there.
blueberries. So
Yeah.
Sorry. I have the mind of a 13-year-old. Move on. No, so I answered my favorite thing. You gave your reasons as to cake.
Yep.
Dave, what's your favorite cake?
cake. I don't know.
Cake ends.
Cake.
Cake, period.
I still question the existence of carrot cake. I don't understand why it exists.
Carrot cake is my number 4. Carrot cake slaps.
Yeah. See, I don't like carrot cake.
Huh.
People put too much carrots in it. Like a carrot cake without carrots would be so much better. Because the texture of the texture of the cake itself is so different than any other cake.
I honestly think my absolute favorite is going to be a pineapple upside down. I love.
Stop putting fruit in desserts.
It's great.
You dirty person.
That's what fruit is for.
Desserts?
Well, I mean, it's not.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
What else would you use fruit for?
Sugar. No, you used fruit for like, I don't know. What else?
He doesn't know.
I don't know. Just stop eating fruit. Like
I add fruit to everything.
Just
I
stop eating fruit. Okay.
Like I cook actual meals with fruit sometimes.
You cook your fruit?
Yeah.
Oh, have you grilled pineapple?
Grilled pineapple's good. Mm-hmm. I've done it like with a steak, like actually like made a steak and put like pineapple in with it. I do it with pork chops all the time.
Okay.
I'll do pineapple. I do one where it's like I'll do like a almost like a grilled pork chop, but then I do cinnamon apples, like apple slices, and then I do I'll saute it in the actual like the juices of the pork chop, and add some cinnamon, just a little bit of sugar. Actually add some red chili flakes to it. It's really, really good. But yeah, I do stuff like that all the time. So it would make sense to add stuff to cake. And don't even get me started that pineapple belongs on pizza. Because I know so many people.
You think it does?
I think it does.
Same.
Yeah.
But I don't like ham.
Who is he? Why don't you like him?
I just like pineapple and pepperoni. Oh, now I want pizza, dude.
See, pineapple pepperoni. Okay, pineapple pepperoni is good. I like it if you do, it's like pepperoni or even ham, and then actual like bacon bits, like bacon, and then with the pineapple too.
Do you like your bacon chewy?
It depends on where I'm getting it from.
Okay, so that's the thing is if you get a pizza, most of the time they're gonna make the bacon chewy, which is dumb. They're dumb people with dumb opinions and dumb processes. Make the bacon crunchy if you're gonna put it on.
I mean, if it's bacon bits, I don't want bacon buckshot.
Yes, you do.
But see,
Yes, you do. Take a bite of the buck.
But see,
You gotta grab. That's how you gotta live life. You grab the buck and you take a bite. If you can't do it, you're not a man.
oh jeez. Oh man. But yeah. So anyway, back to the original question.
That was a genuine opinion.
No, I'm okay with that. I guess. I mean, I think when it comes to like pizza places, most of it is already pre-cooked bacon that is almost like it's just in a container.
Yeah.
So when they put it on the pizza, it's like they just spread it on, and then when you put it back in the oven, it's like all of the cheese and everything else melting into it will actually soften the bacon. That's why you get it a little bit chewy.
I hate
because if you get it crunchy, it's just going to dissolve into.
That's fine. Okay.
There's no point in putting.
When I go to
bacon on
Chipotle, I have them break up chips and put it over my bowl, so I get a crunch.
there. Okay.
They should do that with pizza, but with bacon. Dude, are you kidding me? Like like a piece of pizza just covered in crispy bacon.
But do you realize how much more expensive that's going to be?
I'll pay.
Why don't they cover a pizza in tortilla chips?
I think that's called a Mexican pizza.
Well,
No, because Mexican pizza has like beans and
Tortilla chip.
yeah, but he's talking about a regular pizza with just tortilla chips on top.
Okay, but
To
what's a
add
Mexican
crunch.
pizza though?
It's just a tortilla. There's no pizza.
There's
It's
a
shaped-
tortilla with beans and another tortilla with tomato sauce
Yeah,
and
yeah,
cheese
Yeah,
and usually some form of a topping.
yeah. But it's like Mexican flavors. Pizza is Italian flavors. There's no black beans on my pizza, dude.
There could be.
There shouldn't be.
Black bean crust is actually decent.
On pizza?
Yeah. Black bean crust?
Haven't tried it.
No.
Yeah, it's actually fairly.
I haven't
pretty
had
good.
it, so I don't know.
I never heard of it.
yeah, I've
honestly.
never heard of it. But Dave might be onto something. But what if we did that with Doritos? Oh, dude, like a Jets pizza with Doritos on top. I'm too hungry for this podcast, y'all. I cannot function.
We need a CC's again. CC's needs to come
I've
back.
never been to a CC's.
I've never been
I love
either.
CC's.
Isn't that just like a Stevie B's?
I have no idea what Stevie B's is.
Do you remember Stevie B's?
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
apparently they were like incredibly unsanitary, so that's
So-
why the one we had closed down.
Dumb.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Stevie B's is like CC's. It's like a pizza buffet. Dude,
Okay.
they had a...
Must have been that good. Just kind of forgot about
It
it.
was no, I was remembering it. It was a Boston cream dessert pizza. Like a Boston cream donut dessert pizza.
Okay.
That is like I can feel it on my tongue.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best dessert I've ever eaten.
Yeah. CC's
That's what
had
I
those,
want at
too.
my funeral. I want
Boston
that.
cream
a
pizza?
Boston cream, but that specific one. Where's the nearest Stevie B's?
I'm
going-
probably not in the state, I don't think.
Dude, nah, for real, I'm going tonight.
Yeah. See, I don't think I've ever really heard of Stevie B's. We had CC's down south all the time, and that's where we went. And I mean, yeah. So
I think that Stevie B's might be like a ripoff.
I
It's
gotcha.
in Ohio.
I told you it wasn't in this state.
I'm so mad.
We're taking a field trip to Ohio. Where in Ohio?
Finley?
Oh, that's a bit of a drive.
Is it? Well, that's why we're gonna fly.
Is it worth it?
No.
Well,
Okay.
dude, we might get there and they might be like, "Oh yeah, we're out of Boston Creek." Like, because it's
We'd have to time like a 3 or 4 hour drive. So we'd have to make sure we leave in time to get there while they're open for lunch.
Yeah.
Road trip.
well, they also have
That sounds like a Saturday.
some days. Give me a year or two. I have a really busy like year or two. I guess that's kind of how life goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The older you get, the more
Busier
busy you get.
Yeah. But
And the more you appreciate bagels.
dude, I actually like bagels. I actually like a simple bagel with strawberry.
I don't like how you say bagel. Bagel.
I said bagel that
You
time.
said bagel.
I did not.
You said
You're
bagel.
gaslighting me.
No,
I
I'm not.
intentionally said bagel, not bagel, and you're being a jerk.
No, because the way you say it,
I said bagel. I can say it right.
it's like you have two A's in that thing. A bagel.
Bagel. Bagel.
See, that's weird.
Yeah, well,
That's the same thing as like crayon.
crayon.
What the heck's a crayon? It's crayon.
K-R-A-N. Crayon.
Was there a Tower of Bagel in the Bible?
Tower of Bagel? No, there wasn't.
There should be.
There's just 4 bagels stacked on. Dang it. Bagel. Have you heard? Okay, how do you say pillow?
What?
Yo, okay, I'm not gonna lie. You know the way I pronounce things is literally the Michigan accent, right? This
Yeah,
is
and you guys are weird.
This is not a common Midwest. I pronounce naturally the Michigan accent. Bagel, pillow,
There's no E.
there is.
Where?
In between the P and the I. And then the I is silent.
Oh, jeez. Then that would be palo. Palo.
No, it's a silent L. Yeah, pillow.
If it's an E and an I, it'd be A. So palo.
Yeah, just say how I
I before
say it.
E except after C.
Yeah,
or
we don't
something
follow
like A
that
isn't-
here. I spell crayon, K-R-A-N.
And that's weird.
Well, I don't spell it that way. I say it that way.
And that's weird.
No. How do you pronounce it?
Wait, which one are we talking about here?
Crayon.
The way that it's spelled.
Bro, that's way too many
Crayon.
Bro, you're inefficient with language. You're using like syllables that don't need to be there. Because if I say crayon, people understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, is it pecan or pecan?
What? It's pecan.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
It is.
No.
It's a pecan.
It's pecan.
It's a pecan, it's a pillow, it's a bagel, and it's a crayon. And you don't have to like that, but I'm going to Myers.
Jeez. Yeah, that's another one there.
Yeah. No, but the Michigan accent is great because Wisconsin accents, Michigan accents, and Minnesota accents are distinct. The other Midwest states, they're not.
They are.
I don't think so.
It just depends on you have to hit that right one.
Well, Ohio people don't exist. And
No.
people from Indiana they have the Kentucky accent.
We're just kidding, Ohio. We love you.
Also, I have a gripe with people in Indiana.
Ohio's for lovers.
That's a great band.
That was a song, but
Oh, yeah, it's from
come on. You said it's a great band. At least
no.
pick out the band.
I now I got the chorus stuck in my head and I can't think of the. I'm so mad. It's. I almost said Under Oath.
No.
It's. Dude. Oh my gosh. It's.
We're gonna move on
No,
to the next segment.
Sorry, I did my audio peak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been peaking pretty
Yeah,
bad.
sorry, I heard that time. What's the name of the band?
We're gonna move on to the next segment, and he's gonna drive himself
I'm
crazy
just gonna
until he
look it up.
figures it out.
I'm gonna look it up. You can't stop me.
So, Dave, you never did actually answer the question. What is your favorite type of
You
cake?
said bagel.
I don't think a bagel is a cake,
Try.
although it could be.
It is a bread.
Yes.
Cake is kind of a bread.
I don't know because I don't think I've had a particularly good one anytime in the last 5 years. So
Can you get this man a good cake?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's disappointing,
Yeah.
store-bought cakes.
Yeah, because
so-
that seems to be just the go-to now. Is nobody ever wants to just make them on their own. That's like they just rather go to a store and have them made.
I think I'd rather have a brownie, to be honest.
See, oh, okay.
Dude, cookie brownies are better than cookies.
I'm not a big brownie person, and I think it's just because of the difference between. I'm gonna try to keep this on topic. Between like a cake and a brownie is just like with the thickness and stuff like that.
Like I've had disappointing brownies. Like a disappointing brownie is one that basically has the texture of a cake, but like no flavor of either.
Yes.
See, to me, a brownie is almost like comfort food again too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like
A
because
good brownie is chewy and a little bit fudgy, and you really taste it.
Why cookie brownies are the best. Cookie brownies, bro. They're so good. I'm getting cookie brownies later. I'm gonna spend $100 on food.
I was gonna
tonight.
say after all the food you just said you're gonna go grab.
I'm gonna
it's
go to
be-
Meijer. I'm gonna buy all this. I'm gonna send a photo in our group chat, and then I'm gonna cry because I should not have spent that much money on sugar.
Jeez. So, anyway,
Happy birthday.
yeah, thanks. My favorite cake is a pineapple upside down cake. I will say that. It's like I like pineapple upside down cake.
Bro, you're adding fruit to stuff. Like, oh, my favorite pie is like lemon, and my favorite cake is pineapple.
Yeah, lemon meringue pie is good.
Bro,
I could go for some lemon meringue
chocolate.
pie.
I could too. Never had a key lime pie. That's one I've never had.
I like them.
I don't think I've ever had a key lime
See,
pie.
I
They're
wouldn't.
very tart.
I wouldn't mind a
very
chocolate pie either. That
Yeah,
sounds really
like
good.
a chocolate cream pie is
Dude,
good.
Edwards pies. I'm getting Edwards.
Then again, after watching The Maid, or not The Maid, The Help, I don't think I want a chocolate pie. Sorry, it's all I could think of for a second, but it's called The Help.
But I've seen the movie, and so I know what it's about.
Yes.
Which makes you calling it The Maid way funnier.
I'm gonna be glad that I haven't seen whatever these two have seen.
It's a movie about
Go ahead and say it. It's
it's a movie about the help.
it depicts slavery during like the 1920s, 30s, 40s, like around those times when slavery was very prominent, and it kind of it shined the light not necessarily in a good way, but not necessarily in a bad way either. It basically showed the struggle of what they called the hired help, during that time. And a certain one of them gets very mistreated, and she decides that she's going to make her employers a chocolate pie and adds some special ingredients into it.
Yeah, I can kind of see where that's going.
Yeah. So that is the one reason why I don't think I want a chocolate pie for a while. Just that whole...
If you buy one from a store, you're probably safe.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Hearing some of the horror stories that come out of different stores and restaurants and stuff like that, like, do you actually realize what you put into your mouth?
Yeah, dude, I drink Red Bull. I eat Hot Pockets that come from a microwave, which is literally a cancer magnet. I know what I'm putting in my
That's not
body.
how microwaves work. It's not the same radiation that you would get from a nuclear reactor.
You have not seen my microwave.
Oh, jeez.
It has a nuclear reactor in it. No, but like, yeah, I put garbage in my body all the time, which I shouldn't. But
Yes.
if you're gonna eat pie, like, it's fine. Nobody pooped in your pie. Like, you're probably good. The odds of, like, you go to Meijer or Walmart. I'm not sponsoring Meijer today. I just prefer it generally.
Well, not after what you just
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
No, but I'm saying if you go to Meijer and you pick up a chocolate Edwards pie and you take it out and you open it up, there's actually gonna be a turd on it. Like,
I would really hope not.
That's a glaring
yeah.
endorsement for Meijer. Meijer, your pie might not have,
well, at Walmart, it's like it probably has.
Actually, I think we just came up with a T-shirt. The "Don't worry, I didn't poop in your pie,"
Don't worry.
or the who pooped in your pie type thing. It's like who. You know how they always say stuff like that, like
Who's they?
they.
Them?
Yeah, them.
Oh, those people.
Yeah. You guys never heard those types of phrases. Man, you guys are weird.
Dude, you say crayon, like,
Exactly, like I should.
weird, bro. Crayon.
Anyway,
Honestly, I'm shocked. Like, I feel like the Midwest accent fits more with Southern culture than, you know what I mean?
no.
Because it's like you changing things to instead of you all y'all, like shortening things,
Yeah,
right? But we shorten things in a different way. But I think
Yeah, Ewans. That's weird.
what?
That was like one of the things that I've heard so many times up here. Because Ewan.
Yeah, you and.
Yeah,
and,
that's
but
just
you cut off,
that's
you cut
weird
off-
to me.
You cut off the D because the D is a waste of time.
That's weird to me.
So did you know? Okay, when you read something, your brain doesn't read all the letters.
Mhm.
It actually only reads like the core letters, and then it just kind of sees the other ones and fills in the rest.
Yeah.
And there's special fonts you can get that help you read quicker because of that, by highlighting the ones you'll read in the word. We do that with language. We just speak how people read.
Yeah, and it's weird.
It's normal.
It's weird.
CRAN. Deal with it. No, but what do you mean by, like, they always say that? Like, companies?
No, it's
Like
just
advertising?
Okay, so you get these sayings that you always hear, like people saying, like, "Oh, who peed in your cereal?" or stuff like that. If you never heard that, okay, the people
That's
watching this video, the people that
That's
are
not
that
a
listen to this
saying.
podcast, please let us know in the comments you guys have heard these types of phrases.
Peed in your cereal?
Yes, if you never heard that. When you have somebody that's upset.
I've heard a more vulgar version of that.
Yes.
What? Different spelling for the word pee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah.
that was-
it
I'm
usually
not gonna-
particularly names Wheaties as the cereal.
Or that one. I mean,
I heard that in an Eminem song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I've heard that.
but it's
version.
like, it's like I've heard, you hear that. It's like normally when somebody's upset or they're very snarky, they have like a really bad attitude and, you go to ask them a question and they like snap at you. Then that's like the phrase that you go to is like, "Oh, who,
Yeah, I guess that's not something I've commonly heard.
Okay, maybe it's just me like being around some of the people that I've been around because that was like a thing growing up is hearing stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have a different phrase for it, but I don't know what that would
Well,
be.
you can make up your own phrases.
No, but like I
I
feel like
mean,
I've heard different phrases for
who
it.
kicked your dog this morning, or
Me. Carry out conversations does not endorse abuse of animals.
No.
Yet. Or ever. Sorry, ever.
ever. So, but yeah, those types of things are that's what makes it different. That's what makes it different from the South to the Midwest to the North to the East to the
Midwest is better. We save letters and therefore time. And
We're not even in the West. Why are we called the Midwest? Like technically,
because we were the West until the West showed up.
technically, Michigan's not even in the middle. Arkansas,
It was the middle then.
like Illinois, is more in the middle
But it
than
was
we
the
are.
middle then.
Still,
Okay. The boundary line of where this is before Manifest Destiny. Okay. So this is before we had reached the ocean. Okay. So or we had states there, like all the way over there. Established throughout, our land. So what the Midwest was considered was different. And then we added the other most of the country.
yeah, the actual Midwest.
Yeah. So but we were the middle before the middle. So we were more mid than the mid.
And then it should change.
But were we Malcolm in the middle?
Dude, that's a great show.
I never liked the show.
What is wrong with
I'm not
you?
a fan of Frankie Muniz.
Why?
I just don't like him. The only thing that I've ever actually liked him in is Big Fat Liar.
Yes.
And Paul Giamatti was the reason why. And
Yeah,
Amanda Bynes.
I don't watch. Nobody watches Big Fat Liar for Frankie Muniz.
No.
They watch it for Paul Giamatti, who's
Yes.
the coolest guy ever.
Yes.
He's might be my favorite actor.
I
It's between him and John Malkovich.
yes, I'm not a big John Malkovich fan. But it's just to me he's kind of the same character no matter what.
John Malkovich?
Yeah.
That's why I love John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Because, okay, have you ever seen he was in a movie with Matt Damon? I think it's called High Rollers.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, it's a gambling game, right? And
Okay.
they do all these underground like gambling rings, and he plays a Russian mobster. And his tell is like how he licks his Oreo. He like always has a box of Oreos, and he like opens them, and then he like licks them, and he just puts them back. Or like, and it's just so funny because I can't view John Malkovich as a Russian gangster, and I can't view Matt Damon's character as not Matt Damon. So to me, it's just Matt Damon sitting with John Malkovich while John Malkovich licks Oreos and talks in a bad Russian accent.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
You need to watch it. It's hilarious. It's a good drama, but it's funny too.
See, I kind of like Matt Damon a little bit. I think the most un-Matt Damon that he's ever been was his little spot in Thor.
He was in Thor,
Uh-huh. I think it was Thor, wasn't it?
one of the recent ones.
Yeah.
Because I have not watched the recent Marvel movies.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was Thor because he was. Crap. Now I'm gonna get a lot of hate if I don't get this one right. He was basically he was titled Redneck Number 2, and basically it was him and somebody else dressed up like rednecks. They were sitting on the bed of their truck, and like Thor like walks up to him or whatever, and yeah, he looks nothing like Matt Damon, but apparently he was in it. Oh, and he did. He played as Loki. In Thor, when they're in Asgard, he is like they have like a play going on for the kids about how Thor and Loki and all of them like defeated the ice giants and stuff like that, and he was like one of the characters in it that a lot of people didn't quite notice either. But
Isn't Vin Diesel Groot or something?
yeah, Vin Diesel's Groot.
Yeah, that's the funny. Because I feel like when Vin Diesel thinks, he's just like, I am Vin Diesel.
Yeah, basically. Now, what's interesting about him he actually learned how to say I am Groot in every language that it was translated, that the movies were translated to, so that way he could be Groot in all of them. Because you know how like a lot of the times like you get, okay, we have the American version of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like the Spanish is, or the Hispanic is just, it's dubbed over in different language and it sounds nothing like the actual characters. Except for Groot, it is Vin Diesel saying "I am Groot" in a Spanish, the Spanish
awesome.
thing. So
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
thought that was kind of cool.
Still had to learn less lines.
Right? Yeah, basically.
I learned how to say one thing 18 different ways.
Basically. Speaking of different things like that, okay, we're going to move on and we're going to take this into more of what we wanted to talk about on this episode.
An hour in?
Yes, an hour into the episode, we're actually going to get into what we wanted to talk about. But no, you know, those types of things like that, like I said, the whole learning different little parts, learning different little tidbits and stuff like that is something that I love to do. It's a favorite part of mine. So I want to ask you guys too, with the season ending, season 2 ending, looking back, what are some of our favorite parts of the show that we've done so far? If you guys can think of any.
Honestly, I don't remember specifically what it was, but it was me and Dave early on in the season. We're talking about Star Wars, and it was just me and him on that episode. We were talking about why episode 3 is a masterpiece.
Yeah, something like that.
And Dave said something so funny. He was like, "You just made." He's like, "Your explanation was better than the movie. That movie is not that good." And he totally shut me down. I'm like, okay. I remember that being so funny because I was like building this narrative and Dave just cut.
It's like the way you passionately described it was more interesting to listen to than actually watching the movie.
Yeah, so then David like cut through my reality with a butter knife and was just like, no. Then we talked about The Little Mermaid, which was cool. So
Yes.
that was good.
Yeah, that was a decent episode. That was the first Hot Takes episode.
Yeah, I love talking to you also, but that moment was just funny to me. I always love it when Dave calls me on my bull. So
He does that quite a lot.
I know. That's why I like the bagel thing. I get to call him on his for once. But yeah.
In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Bagel.
Oof.
So I like the popcorn episode, the Father's Day episode, because my parenting role model is still Darth Vader.
Of course it is.
Kills children.
But he learns to regret it later on.
Dave watching episode 3 and taking notes. I got this.
Yeah.
Kill with sword. Win 11.
See, it wouldn't have happened if they were bagels.
Dave, what are we going to do?
We're going to eat bagels. We're going to toast some bagels and spread some cream cheese. And
Is that the only thing you're going to teach your kid?
How to eat a bagel. Oh,
Gotta teach them how to drive a car and how to talk to people.
Nope. Just
How to-
again, my role model is Darth Vader, so my goal is to become the enemy of whatever the kid believes in. And
The kid's going to become like a pacifist, and Dave's going to start the next World War.
I think that's already starting.
yeah.
Well, but would you rather have Darth Vader start it or these losers? Because if you're going to have a war, make it cool. Don't be cringe.
But I mean, have you seen what Israel's doing?
I've seen what everyone's doing, and honestly,
FYI, we're recording this the second week of October?
Yeah, mid-October, and
so things just kind of started.
yeah.
I don't know where it's going to be in 2 months from
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say we don't know exactly where it's going to be in December when we release this, but at this moment, Israel is kind of.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want. I'm gonna preface what I'm about to say. I don't want any innocent people hurt.
Yes.
I think, and I'll keep this very brief. I think the argument over the whole Israel-Palestine thing is so stupid because It belongs to Britain. No, so the British gave it to the current Jewish nation. It was a gift. It was originally conquered by the English. Before, it was Palestinian controlled. Before that, it was controlled by the Romans. Before that, it was controlled by the Jews. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's, if you go back more than 100 years, it's Jewish land? It is. Well, who did it belong to before the Jews? The Canaanites. Are there any of them left? No, the Jews killed them all. But what are we going to do? Are we going to resurrect the Canaanites to give them the land back? No. So here's the thing. All land is stolen land.
Yes.
You're either the winner or the loser. That doesn't make it right. I'm not promoting violence. I want everyone in the Middle East to shut up and shake hands and be like, we're cousins in like blood and relation.
And in reality, when you read through the Bible lineage, that's very true.
Has anyone tried airdropping bagels over the region? That might
That's
solve the
probably
problem.
what started the whole war to begin with.
Also, there are people of Jewish descent who are Muslims or Christians, and there are Palestinian Christians and Jews.
Yeah.
So it's not a religion thing. It's literally a minor racial distinction. That if you went like that, for example, how much French do you have in your blood?
Oh, I have no idea.
Exactly. Okay. So
I don't think I have any French in my blood.
I have a little bit. I'm ashamed of it, but I have a little bit. But I'm not going to kill you.
That's why he doesn't like bagels.
But I'm not going to kill you because, like, a couple hundred years ago, your cousin and my cousin had a dispute that we let spiral throughout generations. I know that there's some sorry, Dave. I know there's some cultural differences there, and I'm fully aware of that. I'm very aware of that.
I mean, I might kill you for that.
Thank you. But
You're welcome.
But the whole I just think it's so stupid. It's like, guys, you're all so weak. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is so like okay. These are like small nations having petty disputes, and they're just killing each other's innocents.
Well,
and I'm so tired of it. Stop firing missiles at each other and just shut up and eat cake. Like, you guys don't have any legitimate disagreements.
No, but
you're
bagels.
fighting over sand. You're fighting over sand.
But see, the thing about it,
I don't
is
like
the
sand.
ones that are fighting. When you go back and you look at the lineage, it stems from a dispute between the actual lineage of Israel and Palestine,
Yeah.
which at the time was Ishmael. So Ishmael gets basically dejected and disowned because of Israel or Jacob being born at the time. And so because of all of these, these different things that happened, sorry, it wasn't Jacob, it was Isaac. Sorry. Isaac was the actual brother of Ishmael. And so when they split off, because of that is what created the whole tension to begin with. Now, granted, yes, a lot of the people don't know what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
It's just become a tradition, and that tends to happen a lot with multiple places, with multiple things. Total side note, but at the same time, it's not. I saw something the other day where I think it was back in 2021. The families, the Hatfields and the McCoys, actually sat down with each other and finally made out, and every single one of them signed a treaty.
They made out like they were
not sexually, strategically.
I
don't know.
They made out a treaty and they all signed it. Their whole little spat, whatever, war thing that they did happened back in the 1890s, and they're just now coming to where they're all like, all right, you know what, we're actually going to stop hating each other for no reason, and we're going to sit down and form a treaty. Israel and Palestine actually did that, quite a few years ago. We're not going to mention who. Mr. Trump actually, got in there and told them that, this is what needs to happen. They signed the treaty. There was no war for a while. And then we get a president now that can't even walk up a flight of stairs, and look what happens.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's okay, Israel's backing can't even help themselves right now. So they're basically, that's why this is all taking place.
So me and Jonathan might disagree slightly on this. I'm going to be honest. I think Israel is a UN puppet state. I think it was established by the UN. I think it's been used for the UN's interest, and that's why we fund their military. All of their infrastructure we fund. We give so much money to Israel, it's not even freaking funny.
I don't think it is, because Israel, now granted, yes, the UN helped Israel form the state back in 49. But Israel has since come out and basically denounced anything the UN has tried to do to help them.
They give them money. The
UN gives everybody money.
No, they don't.
Except for America.
They don't give China money.
They did.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, China's part of the UN, but America specifically, we give so much money, so much of our money to Israel. It's not our job to defend Israel. It's Israel's job to defend Israel.
No, but at the same time, you got to think about when 9/11 happened. Mm-hmm. One of the very first countries to stand up and declare allyship with America was Israel, because of all of the different times that America has allied with Israel. It's like it's the back and forth. I firmly believe, and just like what the Bible says, that it's like anybody who basically stands with Israel is going to be blessed. I think a lot of our issues over the past quite a while has been during those times that we have come out and was like, well, Israel shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that Israel's like an atheistic, wicked state, just like its neighbors. Well, except its neighbors are very clearly Muslim, for the majority Muslim, with some Jews and Christians mixed in. But no, I think the state of Israel is like absolutely morally bankrupt.
Oh well, yeah,
and that's why I get frustrated when people when conservatives and liberals have free Palestine, free Israel. No, everybody in the Middle East, sit down and talk. That's what you're going to have to do anyway. Mm-hmm. How does this end? This doesn't end by you taking this part and you taking this part, and then we fight over it 200 years from now. Every war ends the same way. Something happens that ends up with people sitting down at a table and having a discussion. Mm-hmm. The Middle East is violent all the time, and it's like, oh, well, there's resource wars and blah, blah, blah. Guys, you live in one of the worst parts of the world.
Yeah.
Learn to work together. If they would learn to work together, make it less miserable.
Right.
The Middle East is a hard place to live.
And that did happen during Trump's presidency. He actually did set them down, and between Palestine, Israel,
what does this have to do with
Iraq,
your birthday?
and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. But
happy birthday. Yeah. Israel's getting bombed. No, but genuinely, I know I said harsh things. It's just because I hate how often there's violence in the Middle East. It's like I think it's so avoidable. It's like when I have an argument with my cousin, it's like, why don't I just put my ego aside and shut up? That's what they need to do.
One of them should buy the other a cake.
No, because then they get offended about the frosting, and then they kill 10,000 children, and then blame the other one for killing 4 children of theirs, and then they bomb each other, and then we got to pay for it.
Well, okay, so
they'll go to war over whether or not cheesecake is actually a cake.
This is how dumb the U.S. is. The Middle East will go to war with each other, and then we'll fund both sides. The taxpayers will lose money. The military-industrial complex makes money.
Mm-hmm. Now, something that I did here, and this is kind of a conspiracy theory type thing, is right around the exact same time that the bombings actually started. When Palestine, launched, what was it, over 5,000 missiles towards the Gaza Strip, was very shortly, within like a day of America declaring that we are not sending any more money to the Ukraine to fund the war over there. So right after that happens, well, then here's another ally getting bombed by another, axis or, enemy, however you want to say it. So it's kind of like the conspiracy theory that basically this war kind of started because the people that were getting the funding or that were actually making all of the money through the war in the Ukraine are actually about to start losing money. So they start another war.
Yeah.
War profiteers got a war profiteer.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I every nation in the middle. I hate every nation in the Middle East. Be better, Middle East. Your leadership sucks. Your leadership is morally bankrupt more than explicitly more than most Western nations.
Yeah.
Maybe not America. I think America is more corrupt than some Middle Eastern
Yes.
countries. Like I don't think Jordan is doing anything bad. I think they're just like scared.
I was gonna say, Jordan's just literally like in the middle of it all, just watching everything happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame Jordan. Jordan, you're off the list. But everyone else, you're on my list. Like
Jordan goes back to that story that I was telling at the very beginning where, like we were throwing rocks at the seniors and the seniors were throwing rocks at us. Jordan is the rest of our class just sit here watching the rocks just fly
Jordan
back
is
and
the
forth.
girl who got hit in the head.
Well, you basically. So,
But no, like I do think we should care that innocent people die, regardless of the side, right? And like pray for the people and the families. But this stuff just frustrates me because it's so avoidable.
yeah.
And I don't think the conflicts are actually stemming from genuine grievances. I think that it's being, like you said, manipulated by other special interest groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
War profiteering.
You know what people in Palestine want more than land? No bombs going over their head at night. Being able to take their kids, let's say they're a Muslim, they probably want to be able to take their kids to mosque
And not have
to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
Stop.
the whole like Palestine Israel thing, I mean, it does right now, say not even just right now, over the past like 20, 30 years, has been over a strip of land that tends to be the most profitable. Like the Gaza Strip is actually like where any kind of like the resources, any kind of, oil, any kind of like farming, that type of stuff that they have happens in this one central area.
Why don't we take it?
That would be a horrible thing for us to do because then you're going to have Israel and Palestine coming after us.
They want to play? Are you serious?
Dude, they would destroy us in a heartbeat.
No, they would step down.
No, they would destroy us in a heartbeat.
Palestine and Israel?
Yes.
Weak little. Sorry. I got to be careful with my language.
They would
I'm going to get
destroy
canceled.
They would destroy us in a heartbeat.
All right, fine. I don't need the U.S. military. I'm going to call the Pope.
Think about it this way.
I'm going to call the Pope. We're going to do the Fifth Crusade, and we're going to take back the Gaza Strip. Not to hurt anyone. No innocents will be harmed, okay? We're going to take back the Gaza Strip, and we're going to say, this is ours now, okay? And if you want it back, you got to behave. And if you behave, you can share it.
So basically, we take their toys away and put them in a timeout until they learn to be better.
Think about it this way: the original Crusades, okay? They weren't all good. They weren't all good. The fourth one was bad.
Just the fourth one.
But the first three were awesome. Other than some things, but for the most part, generally awesome. There's a reason you speak English right now and not Arabic, and that's because of the first three Crusades. You're welcome. No, but
unless you're in an Arabic,
or unless you're
nation.
in England speaking Arabic.
Yeah.
But what we did is we went down and we were like, hey, Israel, you're you're called the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and you have all these cool crusaders protecting you. And then for a long time, it served as a buffer. The presence of, because at that time the Holy Roman Empire was established. So because we took that land, there was a buffer between the rest of Europe and then the Middle East. And it was a lot of violence, but it led to a time of peace. So all I'm saying is, I think these nations, I care for the people. I don't care for their leadership. Their leadership and their political position, it's honestly irrelevant. What the world powers should do is just do what they did with Berlin after World War II and just be like, you get this part and you get this part. And people are like, no, they're the independence of my nation. I don't care about personal freedoms. That's not my political perspective. I know that's a minority opinion, but I don't care about your personal freedoms. Stop killing kids. You can get your freedoms back when you stop bombing children's hospitals. Until then, Russia, China, and the U.S. are going to cut it into thirds, and we're done. Okay? We're done. It's a compromise. You don't like it? That's fine. Stop bombing kids and you get to have an opinion. You know what? Actually, no, Russia doesn't get any. They've been bombing a lot of kids recently.
I was going to say, honestly, if you want to hold it by that, America shouldn't have an opinion either.
What?
School shootings.
Didn't see it.
All the school shootings.
Nope. Fake
all
news.
of the other things.
Fake news. Government propaganda. Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news. Silence. Liberal. You're making up stuff to ruin my cool ideas. It's all a conspiracy.
Yeah, America should. I mean, in reality, it's like even China shouldn't have a discussion. You know, a point in that discussion at all, because
Jordan gets it.
like they're basically like the ones that started the whole. Well, you can only have one child. You know.
Yeah.
Unless it's a girl,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true. That was pretty messed up.
yeah. So, you know, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so I do want to say this for the people that are watching this video, that will watch this video, the people that are listening to this episode. If this is the only episode that you listen to, you have basically heard our entire season in an hour and a half, because we have gotten into food, we've gotten into Star Wars, we've gotten into politics, we've gotten into film, you know,
Religion.
critiques, religion, you know, conspiracy theories.
This accidentally became the perfect cap to the season.
Yes, it has, because like every single thing that we have talked about the entire season long has been talked about in an hour and a half.
That's awesome.
Dave hates us for going an hour and a half, but you know what? Sometimes it's what you got to do.
Dave, never mind. I was going to ask if you're an Israeli spy.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I do want to know.
Dave's more like an Irish spy. He's sitting back watching how we make our potatoes and then sending it back to Ireland.
How we
they
make... Like it's a secret.
I mean, come on.
Sorry.
For those who don't know, Dave is very redheadish. He kind of looks Irish in a way. I mean, you do really look Irish.
Are you Irish? Do you have any Irish heritage?
I don't know.
I'm sure you do, just by looking at you, honestly.
Scandinavian?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I'm sure there's something that happened in our history 200 years ago that makes me want to kill you, but
But you won't, because we're not in the Middle East.
No, apparently we're in the Midwest, which
We are
is
in the Midwest.
even worse.
It was the old middle. There's a new middle now, but the name is the same.
But it should be the middle. Like we would be like the Middle East, like Mid East.
Yeah, we should be more like the Middle East.
No, I'm saying we are more. Okay, so you have the East, you have the Mid East, Midwest, West.
Okay, no, so the Middle East is the Middle East, right?
Yeah, that's why I switched it to the Mid East.
Well, but we're not mid. We're awesome.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. We say things right.
We're right above Ohio. How much awesome can we get?
Greatness is sometimes right next to
how can
wickedness.
people live in Ohio?
They don't.
Like, do you realize there are actually people living in Ohio?
Yes.
I disagree with everything in that sentence. I hate... Okay, Ohio doesn't exist.
Oh,
Unless you listen to our show and you're from Ohio, then thank you very, very much. But even you know...
Repent. Sorry. Oh, you live in Ohio? Go to Michigan and and stop living in Ohio. If you have kids and a family and you live in Ohio, do your kids a service and don't live in Ohio.
I mean, okay, so...
You lost the war. Ohio lost the war to us.
What war?
You don't know about this?
No.
Wait. Oh, dude, that's how
Do we have time to go into this?
Very
No.
briefly.
no.
Fine. Next episode, Ohio War.
I mean, I know
The
there's
Great
like the
Ohio
whole...
War.
I know there's the whole Michigan-Ohio, like,
Yeah.
rivalry
No,
in football.
there was a war. Like in history, a war
Yes, yeah. I don't know
between
anything
the
about
states.
that.
Yeah, and the federal government had to get involved.
That will be next season.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will be next season. Yeah, we didn't even get to touch on half of the stuff that we really
We should have
wanted
talked
to
about
talk
that instead of the Middle East. The Middle East was way too dark.
You're the one who carried into the Middle East.
I really hate the Middle East.
Oh my goodness.
With that being said, watch Star Wars. Bye.
Praise to Bagel Lord.
No.
Oh,
Watch Star Wars. Eat a bagel. Don't worship it.
anybody that wants to give me a pineapple upside down cake, you will be my favorite person. I used to tell people all the time, like when I would go visit churches, because I used to teach and stuff like that too. When I'd go to churches, I used to tell them, it's like, if you can make me a pineapple upside down cake or banana pudding, I will be your best friend for life. Like, those are my two things that I will just absolutely fall in love with someone.
So if you want to fall in love with John, do that.
Yes. Pineapple upside down cake or banana pudding. That is like the best thing. So all of this being said, it's like I'm really glad we had this episode. I mean, we have not really had one of the episodes where we've just gone gun
Crazy.
ho on it.
Yeah.
This season. I mean, we've always really kind of had our own,
That should be
themes and stuff to it.
That should be the new thing at the end of the season. No rules.
I mean, it kind of has been. It's what happened last season.
Oh, really?
It's what happened this
Okay,
season.
all right, good.
So,
my favorite
thank you
episode.
guys for listening in. We had a great season with you guys. Hopefully season 3. We plan on having
We hope there's a season 3.
Yes, we hope there's a season 3. We plan on improving a few things. It will take us a little bit, but we will get there. But as you guys listen to this, we hope that you have had a great holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa. I don't know any of the other ones.
Other holiday.
Yes, we hope you guys have had great holidays, great time with your family. Hope you have a great New Year. New Year's will be a couple of days after this is released. So stay safe. Keep listening to our show. Again, you can find us just about anywhere. Do we want to go into all that one again? There's iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon, YouTube. We are actually planning on putting some videos on YouTube. I don't know how that one's going to work just yet, but we do plan on putting some on. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram. If you know me, John Brown, you can find me on Facebook. A lot of our videos and stuff from our show is on Facebook as well. So you can find us anywhere. Share it, like it, let other people know we're out there, because that's how we
Twist
grow.
it.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly how it would be. So again, we hope you guys have a great New Year. Have a great holiday. My name is John.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Noah.
Have a great night, guys.